Swalwell's swan song is one we all saw coming. Federal agents seizing the former Democratic congressman's personal devices just as he was about to board a flight in San Francisco, as his home in D.C. is also raided. The Fed's investigation centering around sexual misconduct allegations that came to light as he ran for governor of California. Well, let's talk about fallout with America's Mayor Rudy Giuliani, who also served as the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York. My friend, Mayor, thank you so much for joining us. So I remember distinctly how top lawmakers from Pelosi to Schumer called the allegations against the seven-term congressman Swalwell frivolous, a political exercise. But when you look at the warrant, Mayor, this is deadly serious. Jack Smith was in charge of the Department of Justice when all of these kind of allegations about Fang came to light. He did nothing. Pelosi refused to take him off the House Intelligence Committee. Our government was clearly compromised under Joe Biden, and you know that all too well. They raided your home. They tried to destroy you, Mayor. They found nothing. You survived. How frightening is all of this? I mean, this is a coordinated effort to protect Swalwell, our DOJ, Pelosi, and look what they did to you.
This was a failed attempt to take over our government and destroy it as we know it, and make it into a single-party dictatorship that would fall under the one world that hopefully was going to, from their point of view, get run by Barack Obama or Klaus Schwab or the Chinese communists. Now, the mere fact that we didn't investigate Swalwell fully and completely for being a spy or being involved with a spy is an outrage. And that we didn't investigate Schumer and the others for covering up is an outrage. This is not politics. This is national security. China has, from time immemorial, from the time they captured China, has been infiltrating our government. We now know that their methods of infiltration were far superior to the Soviets. By that time, we all knew it. When I heard that he was with this Fang thing, as a prosecutor, you presume I'm innocent, but I would have I'd have put all my resources and been 90% sure that I could prove the following. He was having sex with her. She was doing favors for him. It'd be beyond imagination that he wasn't giving her valuable information. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been with him. He's not that charming. And then they were covering it up because any decent American would want to know the answer to those three questions. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it would have turned out he wasn't making love to her. Well, it turns out he was. Maybe it would have turned out that he was smarter than she is. I doubt it. He's working with a pretty low IQ as it stands. And I'd have been wrong. But the country deserved a full and complete investigation of him. The country also deserved a full and complete investigation of those who know better about China's desires to come after us and didn't investigate it. What are they, not Americans? The answer is no.
Right.
And now we're several years later, and we're in the middle of an absolute attempt to take over this country by the Islamic extremists and by the communists. And they found common ground. And this is no just talking point. This is a reality. They are at war against us.
This is bigger than Swalwell.
Destroy Western civilization. And they make use of Swalwell. Senator Feinberg, who had a Chinese driver for 19 years while she was on the Intelligence Committee. You think that was an accident? Gosh, if I thought that was an accident, I wouldn't be the guy who crushed the mafia.
Exactly. And the media played cover-up. Let's play this clip that it happened a year ago. The way they even characterized the allegations against him when we all knew about his affair with this alleged Chinese spy, Fang. Listen to this.
Did the Chinese spy scandal hurt your credibility, or did Republicans just weaponize like a nothing burger, so to speak?
You know, the fact that the FBI and the House Ethics Committee said it was bull. Like, I would hope that would be enough, but like in a disinformation society, like I recognize that it's everyone on the right's favorite meme. My wife tells me all the time, you know what? The second they're not going after you, you're not affected.
Nothing burger. Do you see how they tried to characterize this, Mayor?
Yeah, I mean, it is outrageous that he would call it that. First of all, I think I said Feinberg instead of Feinstein, but I'm talking about Feinstein, who had been the senior senator and adored on the Foreign Affairs Committee, the Intelligence Committee. For 19 years, she had a Chinese driver suspected of being a spy, never investigated. She was never investigated. He was never investigated. And then eventually when he was investigated by probably the most unethical, according to court opinions, a prosecutor in the Justice Department, Jack Smith. So this is the middle stage of their takeover of America. They're in a further stage of it right now.
Before I let you go, Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, you knew him very well for decades. I want you to listen to this. I want your reaction to Hunter Biden trying to rewrite history and Bill Maher shutting him down. Listen to this.
And he is our unelected, unappointed emissary to the Middle East for a war that nobody asked for. It is absurd.
Well,
it is
not
literally
nobody,
absurd.
but,
What?
Not nobody.
Well, that's true. Bibi Netanyahu asked for it, and he was.
I mean, your
100%.
father, among every other Democrat, excuse me,
Yes.
every Democrat said Iran can't have nuclear weapons.
So there you have it. You hear Bill Maher being the sense of reason, saying every Democrat, everyone said Iran should not have nuclear weapons. And look how they're trying. Hunter Biden now becoming the spokesperson. Is he running for president or what? What is he trying to accomplish here to rewrite history and try to make it seem like we're beholden? President Trump is beholden to Bibi Netanyahu. You know the president very, very well, Mayor. Does he listen to anyone or does he do what he knows is right?
I think we should know that by now. But I'll tell you, he personally defamed me. Hunter Biden did. And so did Tucker. And I'm seriously considering suing him. During the course of his interview, in which Tucker virtually had Hunter on his lap, feeding him a bottle, he asked him about it didn't come from the Russians. Remember, that's been disproven. That was their original charge for 2 years. 17 months, President Trump and I were charged by Biden on a debate with being Russian agents. The New York Times finally retracted it 17 months later in an article. I think it was written in Chinese in the English edition. It was about this big. But they did. Now he's saying, Hunter is, that Bibi Netanyahu set it up. And at the conclusion of his saying that, Hunter, like either he's the lapdog or Tucker is. Tucker said, I agree. In other words, he agrees that I was and Trump was an agent for Bibi.
Wow.
Well, he can go to hell. I wasn't an agent for anybody but myself in the United States of America and the man I was representing. That's been proven 40 times over. Now, I'm going to sue him. And I don't know what has happened to Tucker Carlson. But if he's not working for somebody else, he's doing a good imitation of it.
So you heard it right here, folks. You're suing Tucker Carlson.
Absolutely.
All right. Mayor, America's Mayor, Rudy Giuliani, thank you so much, sir, for joining us.